Hey, everybody. It is absolutely one of those technology days that is testing and challenging me in such a big way, I cannot even tell you. Okay, so there were some glitches with the URL from Zoom, and it was not working. It sent out the wrong date. We've just had a really crazy few minutes of trying to get this thing organized and started, so I apologize for any issues you might have had logging in or joining today. So I'm going to do a test here before we get started with day 2 of the Truth series. And I'm just going to make sure that everything is, you guys can hear me. So if someone will put in there in the chat box that everything is coming through clear to you, then I'm going to check on Facebook and make sure that we're good out there too. Then we're going to get started. So I see Kaylee joined me on Facebook, so I'm hoping we're good. Good. Excellent. Okay. So let's get this thing started. I'm really excited to talk about this today. Thanks, Laura. Thank you, guys. And we are recording, so we're going to be able to share this, and this will live in the Health Coach Mentorship and Mastery group, as all of my webinars and trainings do. And I'm going to share a slide deck today about detoxes and cleanses. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this and why I call why this is part of the Truth series is because once again, mass marketing of what's important about what you do with your clients is being pushed at you guys. That they must detox, they must cleanse, it's the only way to get your client well, all of that. And so it's just not true. And there are some dangers to the idea that everyone should be put on a cleanse. And I want to just kind of talk through that today. So just as a reminder, I'm Carmen Hunter. I should do that at the very beginning, but today's just been kind of discombobulated. So if you're new to me, I am the founder of the Institute for Functional Health Coaching, which is opening at the end of the summer. And I'm going to talk very briefly about that, but this is a no pitch training series. I'm not selling you anything. I'm just trying to give you an idea of who I am and what I stand for and what I'm about and what I really believe health coaches should be taught. And that is the truth about what the best way to help our clients is, what the best way to practice in our business is, and try to push down some of these myths and marketing destroyers, I like to say, that are coming at you every single day in your news feeds, in the sidebar of your pages, and that are trying to make you feel like you have to have or be specific things or have specific trainings and things like that to be successful in this business. It's just not true. So I'm going to stop my video for one moment, get my slide deck ready to roll, and then I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and I'll do one more test to make sure you can see the screen, and then we should be good to go. So give me one moment and we'll get going. And let's see here. Okay, let me change my screen here and do a share. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to check in I'm going to check in the chat box as well, and then also just kind of give me a heads up if you guys can see. You should see the page that says the Truth series, and it has my logo on it. So somebody just throw that in the chat that all is well there, that you can see that, and we'll be good. Perfect. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate it. Hi, Lisa. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with this. I thought a slide deck would be the best way to do this because, there's so much to talk about. I have this tendency to get on a roll, and I don't want to do that today. I want to stay focused. So let me get this thing playing. And hold on a moment. I don't want to show the navigator. Let me switch screens. Here we go. Okay. All right. So detoxes and cleanses, hurtful or helpful. The reason I'm calling it this because it's both. They are both hurtful, and they're helpful too. And I'm going to tell you about how that plays out for me. And this is, again, a reminder. Today's presentation is just education. Don't take my word as Bible. If none of this works for you, then that's okay. And if you pull some value from it that helps you to practice in your business more safely, then that's great. That's the goal here. And it's also to help you not feel like you have to rush out and take yet another course or class on detoxing and cleansing, that you have to know everything there is to know about the liver and all of that. It's just, I'm hoping to, through this Truth series, not only dispel a lot of myths that are out there, but help you feel more confident and comfortable wherever you are in your coaching today, whether that is brand new getting out of school or been out of it for a while and you're getting burnout, whatever it is, wherever you are. I am trying to twist this health coaching thing upside down and help you guys feel more confident and see a different side of it. And so the meaning of detox and cleanse, I think, is important. So whenever I see or hear the words detoxing or cleansing, I automatically think of Eastern medicine versus Western medicine. I think about, people go for, I saw one coach go on a month-long water fast, like things like that. I automatically think of, taking things way outside of the realm of conventional medicine. And when I speak about conventional medicine, I mean, our regular doctors, allopathic medicine. We go into the ER and we see a conventional medical doctor. We go to a gastroenterologist or whatever. Those are conventional medical doctors. I practice functional health coaching because I think that there's such a bigger sphere to think about, a big, huge list of things that are not being considered in conventional medicine. And so let's look at what this actually means. So here is, this is from Wikipedia. So the origin of cleanse would be, you can see the old English style. I'm not even going to attempt to say those. I say it all wrong, but it means to purify or to clean, right? Okay, so that's cleanse. Really simple, right? You just take the SE off the end and you have clean. That's what it means. Really easy. Then we have the medical definition of detox as well. So basically, they give some examples, talking about safely detoxing. We think about detox a lot of times when we think about someone who is having having some addictions and they're trying to detox from an intoxicated substance or whatever. But we also can think about as just a functional term as well, remove impurities from. So I'm going to kind of use these interchangeably because they really mean the same thing when you think about it in the big scheme of things. So they both mean that we're removing toxins, we're purifying the body, purging things from the body that don't belong there, clarifying the body systems, and making the body clean. So are you guys seeing everything okay? I'm so nervous today about this technology. I'm going to go up here and check my window real quick just because of the hard start we got. So I just want to do one quick on the chat and make sure you guys are good. You see everything okay. Lisa, why don't you give me a yes, you're good. That would be helpful. Okay, perfect. All right, sorry about that. All right, we're just going to roll through now that I know that everything's working all right. So what's with all the hype? So detox and cleanse really turned into these buzzwords. And one of the things that automatically comes into our minds when we think about this is weight loss. So people are using these words to promote weight loss because weight loss sells. So you might see something that says lose 10 pounds with this 10-day detox, or cleanse your body of the extra fat by doing this particular juice fast or something like that. There are buzzwords that help people feel better about their health. It's one of those things that can make you feel like you're cleaning out your body. I mean, what person really doesn't feel healthier just by saying, I'm going to do a cleanse, or I just did a cleanse, or I need to detox after my weekend of binging. I even saw, and I mentioned this, I think last week, that I saw a clutter cleanse a few weeks ago that, it talks about cleansing out the clutter. I don't know why we don't just say I cleaned up my office or I cleaned out my closet, but we had adding the word cleanse onto the word clutter just seems to sell. And so that's what these words are doing. They really help promote, the hype of detoxing and cleansing just about anything. So when you're seeing the marketing, it actually works. Marketing with these words really does work. So I am not telling you not to use the words or anything like that. I'm not even telling you that they don't work. And we're going to get into that in just a moment. The point I want to make is that everything sounds better with these words in it. No matter whether we're talking about it or we're doing a cleanse or a detox or we're marketing for it or creating programs with it. So what's the matter with that? Like, what's the matter with it? There's nothing wrong with feeling better and healthier and cleaner. There's nothing wrong with saying I need a detox, or I want, on a binge, or I'd like to cleanse myself. Nothing at all is wrong with that. But the problem comes with the delivery method of this information to your clients. So what do I mean by that? Coaches are purchasing done-for-you detoxes and cleanses. Okay, that's fine. I mean, someone's making a ton of money off of that. But the problem is most coaches aren't certified in detoxes and cleansing. Also, most coaches haven't even done the programs that they're giving to their clients to do. Now, let me repeat this in a different way. Many coaches are purchasing done-for-you detoxes and cleanses. They're putting them into their coaching programs, or they're doing groups around them, but they have never even done the detox or the cleanse that they are promoting. I have a huge, big, fat problem with that. Not only am I a big believer that I don't like to ask people to do things I haven't done, but how can you speak honestly and advise on something that you don't even know or you haven't experienced? So this goes back to my old elimination diet, the loathing I have for that. I know that it can be very powerful. I'm not saying it's not something you should do, or recommend with your clients, do for yourself or recommend. I'm saying that it is one of those things, if you have not done an elimination diet, and I'm using the word diet in this training with you because it's just health coaches I'm talking to. I don't say that word with my clients unless it's in the format of, like the paleo diet, the perfect health diet, if that's what it's called. But is if you've never done it and then you tell your client that they should do that, it is absolutely difficult and it's hard, and it should not be taken lightly, because when someone starts an elimination diet, if you can't support them and say, I understand, then I don't think we should be doing this with detoxes and cleanses either, because they can be very difficult as well. So before everyone gets all upset with me and thinks I'm telling you that these things are not beneficial and we should never do them, let's cover some the details. Of course, the obvious. Of course they can benefit the body. Of course they can benefit the body. But can they completely clean the body out and detox the body from top to bottom? I don't believe they can. And I think that there's science out there that says that what I say can be backed up. I haven't pulled it out because I don't want to get in a debate about where I pulled information. I just know that I've done some research about whether or not someone can 100% turn their health around just doing a cleanse, and I have yet to find anything like that. All right, so let's talk about how it does benefit you. So anytime, or your client, anytime we take out the standard American food, we reduce the inflammation in the gut, right? Take out alcohol, sugar, and all of that, the body's gonna feel better. Of course, it's going to benefit anyone to do something that takes out the things that are causing the problem. Of course, it can feel like a reset to anyone who has just begun a journey into a healthier lifestyle. I mean, they may forget about all of these other pieces they have going on if they start feeling better, just by losing a couple of pounds. This is the same with anything. So anytime you make a small change to something that is harming someone, things can improve. So for example, so with someone's sleep, let's say we shut out all light, they put on a face mask, and it's completely dark and their melatonin starts to get restored. Is that beneficial? Of course it's beneficial. So exercise, what if someone who is running marathons keeps putting on weight and doesn't feel good? If they stop running the marathons, the body stops storing fat to survive, right? So of course they're gonna feel better. So I'm gonna get to how we can safely help our clients with and I'm air quoting here, even though you can't see me, a detox in just a moment. But I'm not saying, let's be clear, that I don't think they can be beneficial. I 100% do. So let's talk for a minute about the 3 phases of detoxification. And I am not an expert on detoxing and cleansing, absolutely 100% admit. Full transparency, I've done one detox and it made me feel so badly. I would never go back and do that again. I will never do that particular thing again. So I'm not an expert. I've only experienced like some of the worst die-off symptoms anyone could ever feel, to the point where I could hardly walk or sit for like 3 days. So Isogenics is where I got this from, and they really simplify this process for us. So very simply, you can see we have phases of detoxification, right? But first look at the guy in the little blue guy over here. The exotoxins and endotoxins, things that come from inside and outside of the body that create toxic responses in our system. So we have to have specific things in place to be able to detox properly. And those are things like your B vitamins, your minerals, your branched chain amino acids, your glutathione, which we're going to talk about more in just a second. And then you go into your phase 2, which there's the glutathione again. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, because a lot of people don't even know what that is. But in addition to the glutathione, we also have to look at the antioxidant protection that we need to be able to, not have such a horrible experience with this detox process. And then of course it shows you what happens if you don't detox properly. It shows you where the toxins are excreted from the body, and etc. So phase 1, which is greatly affected by methylation, we're going to talk about that in just a second, and proper absorption of nutrients to even move into phase 2. We have to think about phase 1. Now, how many people do you know, or how many people out there are working that are working with people who don't methylate properly? Right? And that is the first phase of detoxification. So let's back up and remember that we are talking about when we suggest, recommend, or air quote again, which I never use, put our clients on a detox or a cleanse, when we don't even know if they're able to detox at all. To be able to do something like that can cause serious problems. And just as an example, no matter what kind of a detox you give someone, if you are releasing these toxins into the body, into the bloodstream, if they are constipated from some other reason, slow motility, hypothyroidism, whatever, and they're not going to the bathroom properly, as you can see over here on the less reactive metabolites list, one of the ways we release toxins is through our feces. So if they are not going to the bathroom regularly, then they are literally, they are keeping the toxins in their system. Their gut is putrefying. It's not a good thing. So Len, I'm going to take it one step further with you guys and ask you, how many clients are you working with that actually have a good solid gut lining? They have no permeability. They don't have leaky gut before they even came to you. So how do we even know if they're able to absorb nutrients? How do we know if they are using the bathroom properly? To put a client on a detox or suggest something like that, or a cleanse, or hand a done-for-you program to them without knowing the basics about their health, methylation, and abilities to detox, to me is irresponsible. So, and just as a reminder, I'm going to answer questions. If you have questions about anything I'm saying today, or if you just want to throw an opinion my way, that's okay too. Put it in the chat. And I'll look at Facebook when I'm finished. I got too many windows going on and I don't want to get lost here. So, so this is the picture I put on the Institute for Functional Health Coaching page that said I'm going to talk about what this is. This is the glutathione. This is the master antioxidant that is found in every cell, and it's comprised of 3 major amino acids: cysteine, glutamate, and glycine. I am not a methylation expert. I am not a glutathione expert. I'm not even an amino acid expert. I simply do the research when I need to understand something, and I learn as I go. So it's important to understand what glutathione is, because this is one of the major antioxidants, the master, the big daddy right here, that's going to help someone to properly detox. So I tell this analogy to all my students, to everyone, when I'm talking about how important this is. I use the analogy of the janitor and the high school gym. Maybe I'll change it someday, but I think it's just so powerful. If you think about a bunch of high school students having a prom and they're in their gym, they're throwing confetti and there's garbage and straws and all of that stuff laying all over the floor, and then the party ends and they go home. Think of all that confetti and garbage on the floor as the free radicals that are coming from our environment, you know, the toxins in the air, what we breathe and what we take in through our skin, the oxidative stress and all of this, just the junk that lays on the floor. Think about that as the junk that's in the body. Now let's just say the janitor doesn't show up the next day to sweep that mess up. Think about that janitor as glutathione. Without enough glutathione, the junk stays on the floor, the junk stays in the body. So backing up again, someone's detoxing, someone's wanting to cleanse, they want to feel better, but they don't have enough glutathione, the junk stays in the system, okay? And if that wasn't overwhelming enough for us who don't want a chemistry lesson, because I cannot deal with numbers, I'm not a good math girl, I'm not a science and chemistry person. It takes a lot for me to understand. I actually had someone walk me through this entire chart when I had my methylation stuff done, just so I could get a general idea of what was happening, and I was completely overwhelmed. But let me bring my cursor over here and give you a couple of ideas of why, of what is going on in your client's body and going on in your body as well. You can see on here, I'm not going to walk through the pathway, I just want to point out some really important pieces. This is the methylation pathway. Look up here at the top. We have glutathione. Folic acid is at the top. And, you know, folic acid is what our body makes naturally. I'm not saying anybody should be taking folic acid. That's not why I'm pointing that out. But it is an important part of leading into that MTHFR SNP and DNA issue that we talk so much about, that's now making its way into the mainstream, that I think everyone should be tested for. It's that important. But then we can look here at homocysteine. I know you guys have heard about that. We talk about elevated levels of homocysteine. And look, this is why, because all of these things play a huge part in methylation and detoxifying the body. Now, you heard me mention just a minute ago, cysteine and glutamate and all of that, right? It's a big player in glutathione, which is down here, the master antioxidant. And then you can kind of climb all over this chart and just really get geeked out on how it works. You've got some neurotransmitters over here of your dopamine. You've got serotonin. You've got your precursor 5-HTP, tryptophan, that turns into serotonin. Now, just keep in mind that every single one of these pieces here has the ability to have a methylation SNP or a dysfunction on the DNA. So at any time, I want you to think about these circles and these marks and these lines and these arrows and all of this. Think about these as cogs, like these things all rolling together, like this turns to this if it's all working fine. this turns into this, it's all working fine. Okay, just kind of get a visual with me here. These are turning into this works here, this is perfect. Now, what if someone throws a rock in this cog, or this one, or this one? Then the detox methylation process is going to come to either a screeching halt, or it's going to slow down, or it's not going to work as efficiently. So just giving you some perspective on the methylation system and what part it plays in detoxifying. A simple detox box of pills, a done-for-you juice cleanse, or whatever, without knowing anything about the status of someone's methylation or detox pathways, again, I just feel like it's irresponsible. I don't think it's a great idea. Any questions so far from on the webinar page? Because it's the only one I can see right now, and I will go out to Facebook in a moment. All right. I don't see anything flashing over here, and it's yeah. Okay, and you've got a Q&A box too, you guys. You can put it up there in the Q&A box or in the chat. So what can happen if they do a detox or a cleanse? This is what can happen. I'm sure you guys have all done this. They can start to feel worse as the toxins aren't eliminated. They can start to develop more symptoms that weren't there to begin with. Because sometimes when if we aren't skilled, and most of our clients aren't, in understanding what detoxification is and what it means, they may start to feel worse and think it's creating another problem for them, which is, that's not something you want your clients to go through. They may start to feel defeated because detoxing is not usually easy. They may not want to tell you that they want to stop the cleanse for fear of disappointing you, and then they'll stop it and they will not tell you. And then you're going to wonder, why are you not feeling better? What's going on? What are you not telling me? They may start to experience blood sugar issues, and this can be very dangerous. This ventures into that medical area where if someone starts to have problems like hypoglycemia or high blood sugar, and they come to you and say, well, I'm doing this detox you told me to do. What's going on with my blood sugar? You're then going to say, well, you need to go see a doctor, and it could just create something in your relationship you really don't want. It can exacerbate an existing condition. Or they may go to their doctor, this is the worst case scenario, feeling terrible without even telling you. The doctor may tell them that you don't belong advising us of serious things. They stop working with you, and they don't tell everybody how great you are. The list can go on, and everyone is different in how they respond to things. I personally don't want responsibility for someone feeling worse, someone having other symptoms pop up, any condition being exacerbated. I sure don't want them telling a doctor that I, as a health coach, have made them feel worse. All right, so how can we safely do this if we really, truly believe and want to add it into our practice? And if there are people out there right now and you guys are certified in detoxing and cleansing, and you've gone to school for this, and you've worked with a practitioner that understands this at a medical level, great. Then no need to even be on here, to be honest with you, because you've already got your stuff going and you know what you're doing. But if we just want to be able to add this in as a possibility, and we don't want the risk and the liability of it all, how can we do this? Do it very carefully. So do one yourself, do one or two yourself, so you can honestly speak to it. Make sure there are different kinds. Like if you're going to do a juice fast, make sure you do a bone broth one as well. Or if you're doing an all raw veggie detox cleanse or whatever, make sure that you counter that so that you have a good understanding of more than just one kind. Because I don't think it's fair to expect someone else to react the same way that you do. So we want to make sure that we have a general idea of other options for people. Don't purchase someone else's programs unless you plan to do them yourself. Don't purchase someone's programs unless they're a practitioner skilled in how the body works. And I prefer, in my mind, I think that someone, that a practitioner is not someone that's just certified through some cleansing or detoxing school certification. It's someone who has worked with a practitioner, a naturopath, a functional medicine doctor who understands how the entire system works together. And then make sure that the client understands detox pathways and methylation, so that if they want to take this further, then they can go and get the proper labs done and ask the right questions, and say, if their doctor says, no, listen, you are so low on glutathione, you have no storage iron, you are not, your thyroid is not in a condition, whatever, then that doctor can talk to that client, their patient, and give them sound advice on what to expect if they do this. So what's the best option? How do you let them make a decision on whether or not they want to do this? Let them choose their own. I mean, whether it's a garlic and lemon bone broth, fast, or a milk thistle with their hot water every morning with lemon, whatever you've researched, whatever you think is best, whatever you experience with, Send them a couple options and let them decide. That's all you have to do. Let them choose what they want to do. Then how do we support the decision if they decide to do a cleanse and they've got this thing all laid out and they're like, tomorrow I'm going to start my 5-day detox or whatever? What you can do is just give them gentle reminders that they can, reminding them to remove the offenders, right? Remove the things that are affecting them as far as what they're putting on their skin, what's in their air. You can completely educate them on whole food, sleep, stress, all of those things that can keep them from seeing, progress. Then you talk to them a little bit about resting the gut, resting the body, resting the brain. Whenever someone is doing a detox, a cleanse, or they're changing their body significantly, then it's really good to support the idea that we need to not be over-exercising. They need to get more sleep. This is all within your scope of profession, is providing them information on how to do those things better, how to reduce the stress that they're under, how to just, literally take a step back from their normal life and let the body do what it knows what to do. And then replace it with what's missing. When they're done with that, then you can talk to them about the food. You can talk to them about, what probiotics you would suggest or recommend, send them resources for that. Just helping them understand the basics about free radicals and low antioxidants in the body can go a really long way to support the body's ability to do its own thing. I think that we sometimes forget that we are built in, we have these master detoxers in our body. We have these, we have livers and gallbladders and, the ability to use the bathroom and sweat and all of that. Our body knows what to do. Our body truly knows what to do. We just have to get out of the way. So remember this, one thing I want to throw out there is that, the liver is part of the detox process. So if you are someone who thinks that someone should take a bunch of pills and supplements and powders and all of that as part of the process and not eat real food, you can overload the liver. That can overload the liver to have to then work even harder to clear those things out. So the liver's going to do what's most toxic first. It's going to take out a glass of wine before it's going to work on a supplement. It's going to do what it has to do first. So that's just the way, we are miraculously made. So what if all of that doesn't work? What if all of that doesn't work? They've made the decision to do a detox. They decided to do a 10-day cleanse or whatever, and they still don't feel well, and they're still leaning on you for support. Send them to someone else. Yep, refer them out. That's my thing, is I'm a big outsourcer when it's not in our scope of profession. Send them to someone who knows what they're doing with this. Make a recommendation for them to look into it. And again, this is using safe language. Tell them, listen, if this were me, I would absolutely 100% consider going to see someone that specializes in a gallbladder flush or a liver cleanse or whatever. Send them some trusted resources and links and let them know that you're there to support the process, and you're there to, emotionally support them, whatever you have to do, but don't take this one on yourself if things are not getting better. And last but not least, as a reminder, don't fall for the fancy marketing telling your clients can't get well unless they do a complete reset or a detox. It's just not true. Add in some of the juicing. Add in some of the whole food glutathione increasers like garlic and onion. Send them resources on how they can increase their own glutathione and vitamin, and how beneficial vitamin C is liposomally. Whatever it is that you feel is going to be helpful to them. But support the immune system. Support methylation pathways, advise them to get some lab works done, a methylation panel, a glutathione blood test, liver enzyme testing, all the usual labs that I recommend to see what's going on internally. And then just support them. That's truly all you can do. But you don't have to fall for all of this stuff that's coming after you all the time saying there's no way for anyone to get well unless they start from scratch. It's just not possible to completely wipe out all the bad stuff. I really wish it was. I wish that we could do, how in the old days they used to do what was called bloodletting. I believe it's when they just bleed someone out and they add fresh blood in. Or I wish that we could do that with our guts, with our blood, with our cells. I really, truly do, but we can't. So all the marketing that's telling you that you can completely reset the body from head to toe is just that. It's just fancy marketing to get your attention. Okay, so again, this is no pitch. I'm not pitching to you, but I would love for you guys to like the IFHC page, the Institute for Functional Health Coaching, so you can stay up to date on the upcoming news and a little bit about what this institute is going to stand for and what I stand for before I exit out of this screen and look for questions. But I'm really truly a coach who has done the coaching thing. I haven't said I've done it and then decided to sell to you guys. I have done it. I'm still doing it very minimally right now because I'm focused on getting this open, but I do still have clients. And many of the schools that people are learning from today are taught by people who are either teachers, practitioners, or people who are master business people. So they really, you know, in my opinion, it's like that that analogy. Would you go to a car salesman to learn how to dance? You wouldn't. You need to go to an actual person who has done this, and I have done this, and that is what the school is going to be focused on and based on. It's going to be based on heavy collaboration and integrity. It is going to be about health coaching from a health coach perspective, but also from a client-patient perspective, because I've been those as well. I am also pulling in health coaches who know what they're doing and they practice a functional approach as well. And I'm going to be using them to support you guys. So coaches helping coaches is the goal of this. People who have actually done this, not master marketers that are out there just trying to get a buck. This is going to be all about how you can learn from a functional perspective, investigating and getting underneath people's issues without stepping out of your lane here. And I'm going to say that a lot as time goes on. Because I truly believe too many coaches are stepping outside their scope of profession and it's causing problems. So if you want to know more about the affiliate program that I offer, you can email me at carmenhunterhealth@gmail.com. I only want you to become an affiliate if you believe in what I'm doing and what I'm offering. I don't want, if you're interested in more information about that, I'm going to be doing a webinar on it. But it's important to me that you feel comfortable with who I am and what I do first. My payout is going to be 40% on each enrollment that you refer. We have an affiliate webinar coming up today at 12:30 with April Lewis, which she's going to talk about how affiliate marketing can be really beneficial for you and how she basically made a living doing this. And so I just want you to take that in consideration. All you would be doing is promoting the Institute. You're not going to be doing any webinars or you're not going to be telling any stories about me or promoting something you don't believe in. And so just keep your eyes open. Again, email me at carmenhunterhealth@gmail.com if you want more information about being a part of my affiliate program. All right, and so I'm going to exit out of this, stop my share, and just check for questions real quick. And see if you guys have anything that you are that you want to ask, any conversation you want to have, anything like that. I'm going to go out and look at Facebook real quick too. Let's see here. All right. Ooh, you guys are so quiet. No questions. All right. No questions, no comments. Michelle says, this is awesome. So informative. Thank you. You're absolutely welcome. And I really encourage you guys to share this video too. The more truth that we can get out there about this business, the better. The more we can help coaches to feel empowered, the more that we feel confident about what we're doing, and that we are leaning on the people that are the experts in our industry, and we're promoting them and sharing this information about what they do too. I mean, there are some people out there that are doing amazing things with detoxes and cleanses. There are people I trust 100%, and I have sent my clients to that practice Eastern medicine and really know what they're doing and promote a more holistic approach to this and not a conventional approach. So I'm not afraid to send people out there. I'd rather be safe. I'd rather them be safe in safe hands with people who know what they're doing with this. So the Truth series, again, you guys, I'm doing an entire series of free training. Let me just tell you what we've kind of got coming up. So Tuesday, July 11th is next week. We've got the list and likes myths, misconceptions about the size of your list and the amount of likes you have, and what really does matter with all of that. Tuesday, July 18th, these are all at 12 o'clock Central. How much can you actually make health coaching? Why what others charge? I'm looking at my screen reading to you guys over here. Isn't a good guideline for your business, and how much should you charge? And then July 24th, should you even be doing this health coaching thing? And believe me, there are people who should not be doing this. I'm going to tell you when it's actually time to throw in the towel and give you some encouragement, even if you feel like now is not the time. Okay, we're going to talk about that. And then I'm going to throw a bonus week in there as well. I'm not throwing that date out yet because I want to get through these and just kind of see what's left for our conversation, because I have a topic that I really would like to lean into at the end as well. So one more time, I'm going to check the chat. And okay, so I see questions. All right. Yeah, so Dr. Hyman's Detox, Tanya says she used that. I find it super gentle and friendly. That's good to know, and he's a doctor. So Laura says, do you think folks get more benefit from slow adjustment to their diet than from cleanses? Absolutely, 100%, yes, I do. And that's why I actually promote what I call a BEP, a backwards elimination plan, is what I do. And that's kind of, taking out that one thing that might cause a big problem, then maybe taking out another thing. And it's not me saying, take this out. It's me saying, this is highly inflammatory. You should consider removing this from your food plan and just see how you feel and keep a log of your symptoms or whatever. And then maybe in 7 days, try taking out or removing something like this. And then I send links and resources to back up everything that I say. So if I say gluten is highly inflammatory, then I provide a resource that backs that up. If I say that soy is not a health food, please stop eating that. If you want to, undo your estrogen overload, here's a resource for that or whatever. It's me giving them resources to read and make decisions. It's not me saying, don't do that, or this is going to happen, or being prescriptive or giving medical advice or whatever. The wording is going to change, you guys, as you get into this and you start changing the way that you're speaking to people, you're going to have your own way of delivering the information in a safe way. So my words are just ideas. It's just the way I talk. It's just the way I deliver information. And if you're part of the client training series in the Health Coach Mentorship and Mastery Group, you can see this in action, because I am actually coaching people and using language and delivery and showing how I really do this. These are real clients that just started with me. I have a one-time client coming up named Allison. So we're going to do a one-time thing, which I think would be really beneficial and can make some good money for coaches if they just want to put that out as a service. So other than that, I don't think we have anything else. I just wanted to just kind of dispel that, cleanse and detox myth today. I want you guys to feel confident that you don't have to have great knowledge on these things to be able to help your clients. And just remind you that, there are people out there that are doing this, and they're doing it because they're skilled, and they are doctors, they're practitioners, and they understand how the body works and reacts. So it's never just harmless to say a detox or a cleanse would be a great idea. It's never just harmless, because you don't know what's going on at a deeper level. All right. So if you guys don't have any other questions, don't forget April Lewis at 12:30. So, oh wait, we have a question by Solange. Parasite cleanses. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of parasite cleanses if they're necessary. But how do you know if they're necessary if the person isn't tested through a practitioner that knows what they're talking about? And how do you know that when you, and this is just an example, that when you break through the biofilm, this is just an example of a parasite, that you're not releasing worse toxins into the system? And how do you know if whatever detox program you're giving them or cleanse program you've given them for parasites is the one that kills the actual parasite? It's not just a trendy thing going on right now. I mean, there's so much that goes with parasite cleanses. I would absolutely not touch that at all. I've done my own research. I've done my own parasite cleanse. And I'm a big believer in the Kelker protocol. It worked for me. It's worked for many of my clients, but all I did was send them the link to the Kelker protocol, let them purchase the stuff that goes with it, let them read about the die-off, the Herxheimer, all the things that they needed to know and what to expect. I didn't say go out and buy an enema bag and do a coffee enema. I said that can help to stimulate the liver and help clear toxins faster. Here's a link. Make your own decision. I didn't say go out and spend a few $100s or $1,000 on a sauna. I said that's what I used, and it made a world of difference for me. And this is where I got my information. This is where I got my sauna. Send the information to them. Let them make their own decision. And I know a lot of people don't agree with the idea that we should be sharing resources for everything. I think that we should look like experts, and we should be the ones telling people, writing up our own protocols and all that. But that's high risk behavior. It's not general information, and it's something that we need to be very careful of doing. So. And Laura says, thanks for this. I've always been leery of cleanses because they're so extreme. They are. And when you think about this, here's the other thing. What's extreme for one person may be like over the top extreme for another. What may not hurt one person may hurt someone significantly. And that's me and my husband are a great example. We both did that silly master cleanse. I talked just a minute ago about how my hips and everything hurt so bad that I could hardly sit down or walk. It was horrible. After 3 days, I went back to eating food, and it started to work again. I don't know what happened, but it was miserable. He did it for 10 days, lost like 22 pounds or something like that. And besides feeling hungry and irritated in the first couple of days, had no problems with it. So I have autoimmunity. He doesn't. I'm sure his methylation pathways and detox pathways are more open than mine. And that's why I got in the situation I did. So something benign, we say benign because it was, lemon and water and cayenne pepper and maple syrup, but we say benign. For me, it wasn't benign. It was painful. It was miserable. It was not beneficial, and it stressed my body out. So something very small, like even intermittent fasting, can stress someone's adrenals out. So can you imagine, someone starting a detox that starts dumping all these toxins into a system that's not ready to receive? These are things that we need to think about, not only because we want to lower our risk in our practice, but because we care about the people we're helping, right? That's the most important part for me, is that we make sure that we maintain that we understand that it's first do no harm for everyone. And to me, and that's, it's not that we're not doctors, but I think everyone should live by that one sentence is first do no harm. If we are working with people in regards to their health, and that is, if you know that something has potential to hurt someone, then don't suggest it, or don't be a person that implements that. Okay. I see one question in the Q&A. Andrea is asking, and sometimes I say Andrea, sometimes I say Andrea. I see you all the time, and you just have to tell me which way is right. She says, what is the name of the parasite protocol you recommend to people? Thanks. So I'm going to type it in the chat. Kelker, K-A-L, oops, there goes my caps. I got my glasses on. I don't know why I try to do anything without them. The Kelker protocol. So, and this is the one that I looked into this, and I looked into 5 others while I was looking into this, and this was the one that made the most sense to me at the time. This is years ago. So when you look at it, there may be something better out there now. I don't know, but that is that's the one that I recommended back then, and that's what I did as well. I had experience with it, so I recommended it. Again, I wouldn't have suggested it if I had not had some sort of experience with how it worked and how easy or hard it was, so that I could speak to it. So, all right, everybody, we got about 45 minutes till the next webinar starts with April. I really think that health coaches need to understand, you guys could be making money while you sleep here. I woke up the other day and there was $400 in my PayPal just from someone that I recommend, and because one of her programs sold from my affiliate link. It's nice to wake up and know, you've got some money in there, and it's happening when you're not even aware of it. All you have to do is share your link to these people that you support, and let people do the rest of it by purchasing. So affiliate marketing can be super, super helpful, especially if you're just getting started in the health coaching business and you're trying to build it, and every dime you make is getting sunk back into your business. Well, make some money passively, passive income, and let that money support your business and building your business with your marketing, your Facebook ads, and getting the word out, and purchasing the things that you need to be successful, so that you don't have to feel so worried and stressed about it financially. Okay, so join us 12:30. It is a different link than this one, so make sure you check your email, and I put it out there on the page. It's everywhere. I put it everywhere. So if you can't find it, please tag me on the Institute for Functional Health Coaching page, and I'll get it to you. All right, guys, have a great rest of the day if you're not joining us, and I hope to see you at 12:30. See ya.